Dave Levinthal, who's in Washington, D.C. He is the senior political reporter for the Centre of Public Integrity. Thank you so much for joining us. Witnesses say that the guns used in the shooting sounded like an automatic, possibly military-grade assault rifle. Just to give our international audience an idea, how difficult is it to get these sorts of weapons in the US?
It should be very difficult based on the laws of the United States that effectively say that automatic weapons, fully automatic weapons, should not be weapons that anyone should be able to use, at least ones that have been made in modern times. But the fact of the matter is, and our reporting in the past has bared this out, that it is possible to, for example, convert semi-automatic weapons into some sort of automatic weapon. We don't know the particulars of this case yet. The details will almost certainly come out in the following days and weeks, but it is entirely possible for a weapon like that to be used, and just the overnight is proof positive that it is indeed possible.
Dave, we're going to keep you there. I just want to let our viewers know that what we're looking at now is live pictures of the Mandalay Bay Hotel. You can see the two broken windows that we believe, or police have said, were the result of the alleged shooter actually smashing down those windows to get two different points from which he could shoot from on the 32nd floor. Dave, I want to ask, now US gun laws, they change from state to state. What are the gun laws like in Nevada?
Nevada has some of the more liberal gun laws, liberal in the sense that much is permissible. And you're absolutely right that we have 50 U.S. states. The gun laws do differ, but we have the federal standard that effectively says that people can bear arms, that they can own a gun. What is different in this situation is the type of gun that apparently was used, which was a fully automatic type of weapon. People can have a rifle. People can ostensibly have a handgun. They can even have a semi-automatic type of weapon, but a fully automatic weapon, except in very, very particular cases, is something that most people shouldn't have. And ultimately, we've had great debates here in Washington, D.C., great in terms of the largesse, in terms of the fury around the debates as to the level of ownership that one should be able to have over guns. And we are almost certainly going to be having this debate yet again after many, many, many instances in which we had a similar debate. You mentioned them just a moment ago. We've had shootings, mass shootings in Orlando, one that killed 20 school children, others all across the country where multiple people have been killed, almost too many to remember. And at the same time, here we are going into this again, and really from a political standpoint, from a legislative standpoint, it doesn't appear that there's going to be much of any change whatsoever, for better or for worse, with this latest shooting.
The security at Mandalay Hotel is likely to be a focus now. I mean, how does someone with 10 guns get into a hotel room through whatever security they may be? And how does no one notice if he's been there for 4 days? I mean, surely this is going to be a focus.
I've stayed in many hotels, and I'm sure many of your viewers have too. And how many times have you had to go through a metal detector at a hotel? How many times have somebody come up to you and ask you, well, what do you have in your bag? What is it exactly that you're carrying in your suitcase? So you think of airports as being a very secure location. Obviously, government buildings and other types of facilities that have a great deal of security. Many hotels do have security, and strong security at that, but it's often not invasive security where you have to effectively open up your personal contents to be shown. So again, it's very important to note that we do not know all the particulars and the details of what is a very, very dynamic and tumultuous situation right now. But in general, hotels in the United States are not places that are like a fort or like a secure facility that you would have in a military sense, or hotels. So by that virtue, or by that sense, it does pass to reason that it would be an easier place to do something as horrific as what happened overnight.
Dave, Congress is currently considering a law that would open the market for gun silencers. I understand it was going to be discussed later this week. Do you anticipate that will go ahead? And what kind of, I mean, how major would that be?
It would be remarkable if almost anything this week happened. First of all, Congress has a lot on its plate in terms of other legislative priorities, from taxation to possibly even, again, redoing a health care bill. They have budgetary matters, but this obviously is going to vault up the issue of guns to the forefront of at least the political agenda, if not the legislative agenda. That all being said, you have Republicans who are controlling both the U.S. House and the U.S. Senate right now, and Republicans, by and large, don't believe in strong, strict gun control measures. You have a president in Donald Trump who called himself a quote-unquote true friend of the National Rifle Association, which is the strongest lobby in the United States for gun rights, spending at least $2 million a year every year to lobby the federal government throughout this decade, and spent roughly $20 million attacking Hillary Clinton during the presidential race, and another $10 or so million supporting Donald Trump through advertisements and other communications. You add that all up, and that effectively is a situation that plays very well in the favor of gun rights advocates who don't believe that the laws should change. They've made the case, and made the case very strongly, that the best defense against a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. That somebody who has a gun and is a law-abiding citizen would be in a great position to stop a situation such as this. But it's hard to imagine a situation where somebody with an automatic weapon who is shielded from fire and locked in a hotel room would be able to be stopped in any short fashion. So expect that to be really the nature of the debate. And for those who would like to see gun rights rolled back, or some sort of restrictions put in on gun ownership or background checks, or any of the variety of things that are going to be likely discussed going forward, whether they go anywhere or not, those are going to be some of the arguments you're going to see again in the coming days and weeks.
Absolutely, very much across it. Thank you so much. That's Dave Levinthal from the Centre for Public Integrity in Washington, D.C.